Be interesting.
I'm getting the info as we speak from production that yes, it is indeed map 1's going to kick off on Oregon. This is pretty 50-50 match.
Yeah, and this is one, the flip of what I said before. This is one that Millennium have won twice and Fontt have won once, but that, again, can just be down to which maps they played. But this is a map, again, that is, like you said, 50-50. These are all 3 maps that are great for both teams. And we see them just going out with a bang already, just kicking right into it, setting up, shooting out the floors and everything.
Yep, and indeed, we have been talking about numbers pretty much all day, analyzing, but we need to see some real action here.
Absolutely.
So let's get this show on the road. Remember, final matchup, our final quarterfinal of the day here in the Year 2 Season 2 Pro League Finals of day number 1.
And this is to decide who's going to go up against Penta tomorrow.
Exactly.
So even if you win this, it's still going to be a heck of a battle tomorrow, as Penta showed earlier with our first 5-0 of the day.
Yep, and of course Millennium are starting off on the defense here, as Stiz is going all the way to the opposing side here in the office just to set up his cameras. We saw even in the final seeding game actually versus Supremacy how good Millennium were at setting down these cameras just to gain a lot of information to rotate around the map.
It's really important in a map like this. We saw a lot of outside play earlier and how much that can factor in, and there we go already. Kicking off on Falco. Unfortunately, he's usually the wild card roamer, taking off the board early. That makes this a bit more straightforward for Fontt.
Yeah, and this is not an easy position to be in at all if you're Millennium, because you lost your pulse before your pulse could do anything.
No, I think his intel was that I'm about to die. So unfortunately, that didn't work out great for him. But this is the first round. This is where they feel each other out. So whatever he's feeling out right now is probably going to help next time.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people would like to feel out what Falco has in mind for everything strategy-wise, that is for sure. And of course, in front is Mav just trying to drone in for his teammate on the Ashe.
Yeah.
Gohan's one of the best players / Ashes in the world.
And we're seeing a lot of drone action going on. These guys are really not leaving it the chance, trying to get as much intel as possible before they start to take control of these top floors here.
Do you think it's a bit too risky sending so many drones at the same time? Can you get flanked because of that?
It depends on where you sit. You definitely got to be careful on where you sit in your positioning with your drone. We saw earlier in a map, for example, Slashhug sitting downstairs on Chalet just get taken out because he got droned while watching cameras.
Hopefully this does not happen here. So cameraman's going to be checking out the cameras as Stiz, just making sure that he has a beat on where Millennium, or well, where Team Fontt is trying to come from.
He's going to have to do Falco's job here, playing that wildcard roamer a bit far away. Although that smoke there doing a lot of damage. For some reason, Astra just sitting in it. Not sure what happened there, but got to feel bad for just sitting right in that.
Yeah, Renshiro just getting the first frag here, at least for his side.
The second one as well on the
just sitting in the smoke. Oh, gets shot from the side though. And now Gohan is able to eliminate him here. Yogur standing right in on the B side, just trying to hold off with his Jaeger as Gohan is set on the meeting hall roof, just waiting to jump in on the Ashe. Flash gonna get thrown into the hall. As Stiz is right on the outside as well by the exit stairs.
Nice 3v3 here with 38 seconds left. This is going to get tense. There we go.
Yogurt's getting the one here, and Moringa's going to get shot down, so that's no more Thatcher to play around with. The Sledge's going to open up the main window here as Gohan is setting up to rush through the main hall.
The timing of that almost got him, too. That was a great shot.
Okay, here we go. Trying to go for the 1v1 versus Livin. He's spraying in, but he doesn't have a ton of info to play off of. Millennium doing great here to single out the player and taking out Gohan. But Mav coming in, chimes with one on Stiz, but Yogurts is ready for him. The crossfire from Millennium. Absolutely perfect.
Almost as if Millennium heard our doubts earlier and are really trying to disprove it first round. Not sure what happened with Astro there, but hopefully that's not going to be the case next time. Maybe just deciding he needed a smoke break to start things off in case he was having a Nick fit. But this is round 2 now. This is where they get a chance to flip things around, and we see if they could do the same thing. But they're going to defend a different bomb site, going all the way down to the basement. Instead, that looks like they changed their mind, flipped on up to the top. So we are going to see the same bomb site, but I imagine attacked and defended slightly differently, although we're seeing fairly similar operators, as it is pretty standard at this point what to play. Although occasionally you'll see, for example, a Capitao or some other variations in terms of how you attack this. But I don't think they want to change things up from what's working.
But how have things changed for the Blackbeard that's trying to attack this site? I mean, is there anything other than main the main window or
I mean, most of the
side.
time you'll see him start off on the A window, help stuff out over there, and then rotate over to that B window, do the repelling between. I mean, it is risky, though. You really do got to depend on your teammates to stop you from, say, runouts on kitchen, dining room door, or runouts or shots from the big watchtower. There's a lot of exposed positions, so...
And I'm not sure if anybody's set up on the big tower right now from the defensive team Fontt. Marcio can grab us there. Thank you, Marcin. No, there is absolutely no one on the other side of the building. So all the concentrated defense from Team Fontt is going to be on the lower right side of the building.
Yeah, and that's going to give them control of the big tower, which they don't necessarily want to do. But it's a situation where you can potentially retake it if they are distracted, depending on what they're doing with it. So we may see a late retake of that tower if a B push is happening.
Even Yogurt's here setting up on the Ash right in the main, right in front of the main window here as the Blackbeard's actually going through the main hall. A bit of a different style of play, to say the least. Falco just trying to set up bit by bit. He's playing the sledge this time around as Map's just checking around.
Yeah, they're really burning those ADSs going for these nades in here.
And they might just want to take control of the lower side, but they're going to have to deal with cameraman who's set up on the mirror. That can definitely melt a Blackbeard instantly.
Yeah, they definitely want to hold that kitchen at the very least. Make sure that, for example, Astro's protected from below so he can continue to hold those B windows from between. As that's a hard spot. You usually don't see the Jaeger playing in that position, though. That's a little bit of an odd choice. You usually see maybe the smoke or some other, like a 3 armor sitting between those, but might work for him. Although we do see the smoke in that room, so maybe he's going to rotate with him.
Renshiro still watching along the back windows here at the back stairs, just making sure that that mirror does not rotate and maybe try to go for a quick jump by the scaffolding on them. Yogurts has a bit of crossfire here to play around with a teammate, but this is the problem. Still, the mirror's below, and with all the floorboards being opened up, she has a complete open view of where the attacker's coming from.
Well, a minute 15 left. No one's killed each other yet. In fact, not necessarily a lot of progress, but they are starting to get control around the bomb sites. So the tight formation there, backfiring.
Here we go. Falco getting the first one, and Stiz holding a fantastic angle. Gets one, tries to go for the second, and it will work out. Renshiro, in the meantime, though, gets one for him, and somehow, some way, within just a few seconds, Matt finds himself all on his own, taps Renshiro down by the stairs, and it's all on his own in the bathroom corridor. 3 still alive for Millenium. And, well, Mav, it's all up to you to jump up there. He had no info in order to throw that nitro cell in and actually try to stop that diffuser plan.
Without a C4, he's in a bad situation. You see how easily they collapse on him there. He only had pretty much one way to go up. Defenders can't exactly repel outside. So that was a tough position to be in. Millenium surprising us here with a very strong attack and defense, just collapsing on them when the opportunity strikes.
Let's see if their day of glory is indeed today.
Yeah. Well, we talked earlier about whether or not they could take Consulate. I'm not sure how Oregon fares in the factor of things, whether or not this is going to be a situation where if they do take Oregon, that'll spell 3 maps, or if we're just going to see somehow Millenium just make an amazing performance and take 2 maps. I mean, probably not likely, but they are off to a great start, especially looking at Yogurt, Stizzy, and Renshiro doing great. Falco did manage to make up for his earlier deaths, even getting 2 assists along with the kill.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the recruit meta, though, from Stiz. Going for the MP7 now. Big reason as to why you're not going to go for this usually is due to not having any barbed wire to play around.
Barbed wire and nitro cell, pretty good. This is a kind of the this bandit super.
And that's what I'm thinking. Like, maybe it's just to have the extra nitro cell because you have the mute, you have the Mira, and now you have the recruit to play around with.
I mean, you already have a bandit as well, so they get the extra batteries, they get the extra barbed wire, they get the utility that they need, and I guess if you don't need another operator and you need more wire and nitro, this is a great choice. I mean, hopefully we'll see the actual use of it.
Because this is the pattern. You remember when we were casting BR6, and we saw how Gohan is able to run around from behind, especially on Oregon, and just sit behind where usually you would see the smoke on defense, which is extremely unusual. So this might be a thing for Millenium to say, you know what, all we have to do is just slow them down, and we can control the situation.
Yeah, and hopefully they can. Unfortunately, looks like Astro throwing his drone right into the windowsill and wishing it could jump. But he is definitely going to get in there. This is, I mean, using that drone, probably not the most efficient way to do things, but I guess if you want to kind of tase someone out of position up there, might work out. They're taking control of this tower very quickly, and that is good for them to get initial control here.
All right, Astros is going to go and pick up his drone, just making sure there's nobody trying to go for a quick peek from the outside. And just going in with his Twitch drone, taking down the cameras. Might just try to go down and maybe try to take out the mirror walls. Now, Stiz has been dropped very low on HP as Gohan is moving bit by bit through the bunker. C4 has been thrown out and not much damage done to Gohan. As he moves in bit by bit, Falco and Stiz are waiting up for him in the back tunnel here by the bunker. They still have the Thermite to help out from behind. Astro, in the meantime, though, has taken control of the connector between both towers, and it's a pretty good sight to be in here.
Yeah, and this is the first time we're seeing the basement here. So far, we've seen the dorms twice in a row, so this is definitely a different attack we're seeing coming out here. And that tower matters in a different way on this particular map, so our particular bomb site. Stiz in an interesting position, though. I'm curious to see if he's going to pull this off. They've got to know he's there by now, and he's very low on health.
Oh,
Astro.
Nice drop there. Okay, Astros is going to get eliminated. Nicely done by Yogurt, who's still lurking up. And this is the thing. You waste so much time trying to take him out, though. Gohan jumps in, gets the 2 kills. Stiz and Falco are both down on the ground and left 3 alive. From Millenium, Livin, Renshiro, and Yogurts, who is on 40% HP. Set all the way in the bathrooms, though. C4 from Renshiro will take down 1. Yogurts with the 2nd. The last man alive is Moringa, and he still has to go through the 2. Gohan, though, down a half HP. He's not down and out just yet. Getting a bit too ahead of myself here. But Renshiro is on site, and he can definitely melt the Ash if she runs a bit too aggressively into them.
It does get basically down to 1 HP left. It's not going to be easy against these heavy attackers. It's going to be on Livin to do something about it here.
Oh, Livin, here we go. 1, and gets the 2nd. Livin, are you kidding me? Both are down, both headshots, and Millenium are still in control.
I think they were just a little over-focused on taking down Renshiro, and Livin absolutely capitalized on that with 2 amazing kills from the same angle, no less. So they definitely ran into that one, obviously running out of time. So great 3-0 so far by Millenium.
And do you think they went in thinking that the mirror was down at that point?
I think they were hoping at the very least, and that's the thing a lot of people forget about the pro settings, is you can't tell whether or not you don't get a notification if someone gets downed. And in a situation like that, they were thinking, okay, cool, let's go in and finish them off and just take control of this site. Obviously, that was a mistake, and Livin was there to just get that angle on that as they rushed in because they were so long time thinking speed was going to be their ally. And unfortunately, it was not against that MP7.
Yep, indeed. So now setup's going to be yet again on the basement. It's pretty standard so far. Nothing really out of the ordinary from Team Fontt in terms of their operator picks. They're going to go for the Smoke, the Val, the Mira, the Bandit, and the Jaeger. And we'll probably have the Smoke sitting behind the Mira wall and somebody sitting in the cubby as well.
You know, like, I actually have seen, I mean, they may still be doing the normal Smoke thing from these guys, but one thing I've noticed about Brazil is they're more than happy to use C4 in the place of smoke canisters. And so it wouldn't surprise me to see them do that instead. And I think they like to play those operators. You've got Valkyrie with C4. You've got Mira with C4. You might even have Bandit with C4. Nope, no Bandit with C4. But that would have been interesting. 1 extra C4. But they are definitely able to then use that smoke in a different capacity if they want to.
A surprising thing, though, is that Fontt have not reinforced, or actually have reinforced, but have not set a Mira wall just yet in the basement, which means they're going to dedicate most of their manpower and their utility to defending the meeting hall and not the site itself. And might just use the hatch to drop down if needed.
And that's the thing, is you want to get all your fights done in the meeting hall and not give them a chance to move down. And that meeting hall becomes a very important, well, meeting place for all the players here to come and discuss bullets to the face.
Yes, and Mav sitting right behind the comfy couch here as Renshiro has made his way into the backstage area, just making sure nobody's going to go for some quick peeks. He's expecting players to be down in the basement and might just try to go for a quick peek on him. But that's not the case. Nobody is waiting for him down there.
Yeah, and I'm kind of curious if he's going to rotate around to go for a more typical stair push, as Blackbeard is a bit more useful in that particular situation because of the way he can stick his little face shield around the corner, whereas fighting on those stairs in meeting hall. Moringa, though, in a great position to capitalize on this if he gets off of his drones and just comes rushing in thinking it's clear. It's certainly not going to be. He's getting closer and closer, waiting to come out to the porch to greet him. The nice, cool lemonade. And unfortunately, Drone does catch him. Shots. I like the shots crossfire there from the tower. Nearly catches him. Now he's trapped in the armory.
And now the only thing that he can do is either get the kills and run away from there, or open up the window and jump out. And even then, they're waiting for you. Here we go.
Liven's grenade, though.
Fantastic grenade from Livin, taking him out. And
finished
then
it off with his gun.
This is so far working very, very well for Millenium. I think Fontt just dedicated too much on the road.
Yeah, this is not the Fontt I was expecting to see so far. I'm really impressed coming out from Millenium here. It's a 5-3 right now with still 1:05 left. Plenty of time to kill those other three, especially with the man advantage here. No rush, no big deal. They've got great map control. Easy push down here as long as they don't goof it up.
Gohan, though, tagged down to 60% HP, is going to sit in the cubby. Why would you peek there? The smoke goes for the peek. Yogurts, though, is going to get dropped but not killed just yet. Stiz, though, will get one for his troubles. C4 is going to get thrown out. Oh, nobody now. And Renshiro Yogurts. Beautiful crossfire. 4-0 for the French.
That's amazing. Well, you can't trigger that C4 if you get shot, right?
Exactly.
So much for that. I like that crossfire with the Blackbeard there, using him in a bit of a different capacity coming around the other side. That is the other way we've seen Blackbeard use sometimes, but in this case, it worked amazingly. That was nearly a flawless round. Just bringing it to match point like this is very unexpected. I mean, situation earlier with Penta and Excellence, maybe a little bit more expected, but this is not how I thought things would go here on Oregon.
Not at all. We were expecting this to be either Fontt taking control of the map or being...
Well, maybe this is the problem right there. As they highlight on the screen, Astro with 0 kills. Now we know why they're not winning. That 2.0 KD falling apart
Astro
here.
and cameraman.
Yeah, this is... It's surprising. I think they're just not playing to their full capacity here, which is... I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure what's going on with these guys, but I expect that they will all of a sudden make a comeback or something, and we'll see this end up 4-4 overtime after 4 rounds in a row.
Fontt, as a team themselves, should never be underestimated. Even if we're on 0-4, there definitely is a way to come back into it. But the mind game play from so far from Millenium has just been so difficult to deal with, just because Falco has been playing to his level. Maybe you look at the scoreboard, you're like, oh, he's not on the top, but that's not what Falco has to do. He's 1-3, but it means he's not dying all the time. He's feeding everybody information, and he just falls back. This is what Millenium want to feed off of to make sure. Oh, wait, it's just completely.
I need that camera back.
All right,
hold on, guys. I'll go get it. I'll be right back. That was it's good for him they weren't spawning there. Maybe that was the idea, but that was a bit of a risky move there. Surprisingly paid off.
This is going to be interesting where he sets it. Okay,
there
he's going to set one right on along the outside. This way he can check if anybody's getting back onto the rooftop.
But he misses when Valkyrie had 4. It's like, I wouldn't have had to pick that one up.
Yeah.
But good droning coming out here from the Fontt guys. I mean, they're definitely good on the drones, which is surprising that they're getting caught so off guard by Millenium. They clearly like the drone to make sure it's clear, but maybe they're just not acting with the aggression that we expect on this drone intel. Like you said earlier, all these drones going around at the same time may just be causing a problem for them because they're not following those drones. They're not using it for entry fragging.
So cameraman set up on the thermite right in front. He does have Astro to help him out on the Twitch, and Gohan is just gonna, well, take his life. No, he's gonna get
a little reset,
yeah, just a quick reset. Now cameraman, just keep on the droning. Now what we saw before, at least from BD and BRK this time, is that you would always have somebody running right behind 2 drones that are in front of him, just making sure that there's always info being fed.
Yeah.
Well, Renshiro here, able to capitalize on this and takes down the Twitch, gets the second as well. Quick spray with the SMG-11, now pulls out the shotgun. Not much bullets left in that mag, but that's all he needs, as now Gohan, the Ash, has been taken out of commission.
I was going to say, it feels like Millenium always knows where Fontt's at, and you see why here. Falco doing a fantastic job relaying this intel, and this, comes down to great communication. Falco being in a situation where he can speak French with his fellow players might put them in a better position to communicate much more fluently.
Yeah, and they're not afraid at all here to move up. Moringa gets the kill, though, on Livin. Finally taking down someone, but it's the Bandit. It's not the biggest thing, really, for the team. The Wrencher, I believe, has dropped and has not actually been rezzed just yet. I'm not too sure. Oh, here we go from behind.
This is a 3rd kill, I think, for Moringa this round. He's trying to bring it back for his team, but he's got a lot of work to do. However, they got the man advantage as cameraman gets one.
Oh, suddenly we set herself with only Yogurts alive. Moringa and cameraman are both low at HP, but Moringa is same plays here on the Hibana with barely any HP left. Flicks in, gets the wreck shot. and cleans up the Jaeger at the end of the round. Team Fontt, at least they will not go down without
Here's
a fight.
the start of that 4 in a row, right? I was talking about to bring comeback. Now, keep in mind, as we were saying, it has been brought up multiple times now, the way the scoring system works, they are now on match point. So that means if Fontt do not win the next 3 in a row, that is the end of this map, going over to Millenium as the winner, and then we move on to the next map, which I believe would then finally be Consulate. So it's a situation where you're in a tough spot. We saw what happened earlier to Rogue when they were in the same position on Chalet, a 4-1 against them. It was a hard hill to climb, and they did a great job putting up a fight. But eventually, losing 1 round, being all it takes, is very difficult, and that's a lot of pressure on you to perform.
Yeah, and Kix was explaining this, like the same thing with Ensign BRK. They think about every round as a round itself, because there's nothing that really carries over into the next one, except for maybe the bomb site.
The tilt.
Sure. Yes, and the tilt. So if you can get rid of the tilt, you're pretty comfortable every single round. It just gets...
The only person I feel like can actually manage to do that is Shadow. He's the only person that seems to be calm in those situations, but he's only one member of the team. This is another just crazy run out with those cameras. They really want to get those cameras in good positions that are not expected, and that means taking a bit more risk in doing so. But hey, if you know where they're going to spawn and you feel like you're comfortable pulling it off, it is worth it to get this extra intel, especially if they're not running an IQ or something where they can spot that camera. That intel could be the difference between life and death if you get some kind of jump out or flank.
Yeah, and at this point in the meta, there's a lot of teams that are just going for an IQ 100% every round on attack in Oregon, like Penta, for example, because you can take down these Valcans and deny information for the defense.
Now it looks like they're getting some good idea where players might be, but they're just really having trouble pinching them out at the moment. But only 45 seconds to the round, plenty of time for the kills to get started here. Now we are seeing them try the basement yet again on Fontt. And this is a situation where they did not win it last time, so they get to play it again. They don't want to go back up to dorms. They're like, okay, we figured out what we did wrong. Hopefully, we're going to try it again now that we're on a bit of a comeback. We'll see if they can manage to pull that off. They can play for time here, and that is the advantage of being on defense. But you've definitely got to worry about these aggressive attacks that have been coming out of some of the Millenium players.
Yeah, I'm surprised that we haven't seen any normal strategy basically being played against the basement defense, where you would see the Capitao setting in the school, and then from there lobbing the bullets, and you would always have the Habana coming in and opening up the hatches. It has not been about this at all. It's been about controlling basically rotations from both sides, staying in the meeting hall, taking control of the connector basically between both of the towers there.
Yeah, and it looks like we're going to see something similar to where we saw last time when they pinched from the construction side, bringing Blackbeard down here. He's chilling by the tower like we saw before. So it looks like a similar thing, and it worked out quite well for him last time. So hopefully they can pull that off again.
So cameras are going to be set in here. Stiz is going to drone, and Falco's ready from above. Not too sure if it's time to rush. We'll probably see a couple nades being lobbed in. Flash into help out Renshiro. Here we go.
All right.
Finds the head of Namaringa. And at least one frag is going to be set here, but at 42 seconds. Perfect timing for the smoke to start throwing on in. Lots of damage done now to the Blackbeard. His Mav is going to jump in from the side. C4 is going to get thrown out.
Mid-air shot.
Oh my god, no, he doesn't blow it up. Renshiro still low on HP. He just has just enough time to switch out his Delta Shield, but it's a one-on-one trade. Livin and Astro jumping out for the 1v1, and Astro's ready for him. Astro with one more three in the bag as Cameraman cleans up one more with the Mira.
2 pistol kills for Astro to finish off the round. That's the Astro we were looking for. Finally found his way to his seat. We're definitely seeing them come alive. There's the 2 rounds of that 4-round comeback. Could be possible here. See if this turns to reality or not.
But in terms of momentum, because we've seen Millenium having control of the matchup, at least to a certain point, how many rounds do you really think that you should be stringing together effectively?
Well, I mean, I probably wouldn't be putting money on a 4-round comeback right now, but I'm excited to see it happen nonetheless. So hopefully, now that Fontt seem to have found their stride, they can make it happen. But Millenium have more than enough time to adjust here. Now they're going to be going up to the bomb spot. They prefer upstairs. This is a situation where, they have the advantage again. Falco on that mute. We've seen great play from that, and I imagine we'll continue to do so. So this is probably a similar strategy to what they've been playing, but Falco will always be that wild card that you never know how he's going to be doing it. as well as we've seen some great plays from a lot of the other players as well. I know we single him out because we enjoy watching the wild play that he does, but these other guys are really doing a great job.
I like his mute jammer positions. So he's got one right by the second entrance in the hall. He's got one as well in the attic, and he's got one on either side, actually, of the attic.
And I think that makes a difference with how much we've seen Fontt droning. So deny that as much as possible.
We've seen them like sending out the drones, basically like an like an aircraft carrier or something like that, just sending out like all 5 drones at the same time. And this is the thing that now Millenium are like, okay, well, if they're playing off of info, let's just completely deny the info.
Yeah, force them to rush in, and then we can get the advantage. But it's Stiz up here in a nice position. If he doesn't get caught out here, this is one of those positions, if you don't control the person up here, it's a big deal. Renshiro making a big deal already on Gohan.
Yeah, that's the Ash now taken out. So those barbed wires are going to be a big problem because you have to put the Sledge in a position where he should not be usually sitting in. And his right above him, he can hear Moringa on the rooftop of the main tower. Well, Falco just waiting.
The bait.
Pounce.
Yeah, so far, good advantage here from Millenium. Like we said, his bomb spot that favors them a bit. And Stiz, like I said, also in a great position that if they have not caught him, it's very difficult to jump a drone up that ladder and try and get some kind of intel on that. And they really don't seem to be putting a lot of effort into taking this tower. We talked about how vital that tower is. So I think Millenium are in a great position to take this round and then close out the map.
What I like is that Millenium are not overextending. They're not actually moving out of a good position unless they really have to. Livin, though, trying to peek through the office storage here, not going to find anybody just yet on the opposing side. And you don't see anybody opening up the tower just yet because you want to force Moringa into this position. Here we go. Now he's afraid, though. Astro will get a kill on Yogurts in the meantime to equalize it. And Renshiro finds himself fairly low on HP as we hit the minute and 16-second mark.
Oh, Falco, though, there's that surprise attack.
Oh, C4 going to get thrown out, and Astro's going to pick it right up. Astro gets Falco down on the floor, and he's going to be able to finish him off here, taking just a bit of damage. Millenium on the back foot here.
Yeah, still 3v3, though, and 56 seconds left. Attackers are going to have to get in there and do something. So man advantage doesn't mean everything when they've got to get in, but as I say that, turns clearly over to Fontt.
This spot is very, very sick from Livin, trying to get the crossfire right at the end spot. Astra rotating. And at this point, information game becomes even more important because this way you can somehow predict where your opponents are coming from. Problem is now, Livin left all on his own. He's got to deal with 2 more. Astro and Cameraman low on HP. Astro along the outside, waiting on the right side of Livin here in the main...
Cameraman
window jumps up, gets the kill. No more diffuser for you, but no, Astro's ready with the FAMAS. Cleans him up.
3 out of the 4 rounds. Here we go. This could be some overtime. Now, Millenium got to be saying, like, come on, guys. We need to lock this out. We need to just... All we have to win is 1 round.
Look at Mav. Mav is so happy right now. His entire team's like, yeah, we're doing it. Let's keep this way. And you kind of see the frustration in Millenium's faces right now because, like, okay, how do we... What are they doing better than us?
I feel like they had that round on lockdown, too, so that's got to be even more disappointing when you feel like you've got it. You had the man advantage with the early kill. You had, like, the great setup. You weren't moving in positions. They hadn't completely droned you out. Perfect position to be in. And then for it to all fall apart like that, all onto Livin's shoulders, it's just unfortunate. And I almost feel like that bait out by Thermite was setting up Astro to come around from behind, and that was a perfect play because Astro with that FAMAS is just going to come in like a chainsaw of bullets, and good luck winning that fight.
Well, Falco is now going to lose his drone. He's early on. Mav moving around, setting up his cameras. I'm not sure if he's going to open up the doorways yet again and throw those cameras outside.
He's got a lot of setup to do.
But remember, we're talking about this. Fontt, the only way to survive on this map is to tie it up 4-4 and go into overtime, which is basically a tiny, tiny best of 3 on the map. So Fontt have to get this one down, and Millenium will go for the IQ to deny the info.
Yeah, they've got to at this point because they really need to make sure that they get in with the actual advantage, considering they've been, like you said, put on the back foot, which was a big surprise going in with a strong 4-0 lead to come all the way back to this. They're going to feel especially bad if they lose at this point. I mean, something tells me Fontt weren't just toying with them, but at the same time, like, you're going to lose a lot of momentum losing 3 to 4 rounds in a row.
Now Livin checking the drones again as Rensher is holding outside in the bus yard. Maybe somebody wants to peek through from the backstairs here. Not going to find much just yet. Might just go back to the main window. As Yogurts is waiting around for his teammate there. Has already used one of his breaching rounds. Very definitely to take down the first set of barbed wire. Set right below. Here we go. We'll take the shot.
This is what we saw in previous rounds, is this kind of teamwork between Yogurts and Falco here, with Falco crawling around after they've gotten some good intel, cleared out the ADSs, thrown in some flashes, taken out the barbed wire. This is the same setup we saw for them before. That worked just fine. The question is Fontt figured it out yet?
Yeah, and I think having the play with Falco and with Yogurts pretty much allows them to set up for every single push that they want to do. The duo themselves are just really good at it. And here we go as they set things up. Renshiro will get the first kill here. Headshot on a Mav, taking down the first Dromer, and then dropping Gohan. The smoke down to half HP as Falco just sprays through the beds. Astro as well, very low on HP himself. This can definitely turn to Millenium, but you have to capitalize with the kills and not just be happy with doing damage.
Yeah, unfortunately, Yogurt's breathing in a bit of it himself, just hanging out on those windows, and this is where they're going to try and push those windows, but this is Astro very low on health, but he's got backup from smoke up there. They're going to have to make some serious pressure. 50 seconds left, and so many people still left alive as I say that, though. There goes another attacker. Now
two down, the Livin moving in, gets one straight up headshot, but Stiz actually gets the team kill on Livin, and Astro gets the kill on Stiz. Emzo, they actually did it.
I don't know this matchup,
we should have bet some money on this,
right?
Because this is equilibrium. They make it into overtime. And if you're not familiar with the rule set, this is a best of 3. You win 2 out of the 3. You make it to a total of 6 rounds on the board, and you're good to go. You take the first map.
Well, if the Fontt guys can even keep up some of their streak at this point, they could close this out and actually take 2 of the 3 rounds. But
we've had a couple comebacks like this in Pro League season.
Absolutely, but it is not common. I mean, it's definitely difficult. Yeah, not on land. I mean, obviously, as we talked about before, the Brazilians have the land advantage in that they are doing that weekly, 3 tournaments a week on LAN. So they are very prepared to play in a setting like this, as opposed to Millenium, which might be doing a little bit of it, and there are some European tournaments they could be playing, but overall the normal Pro League play days are played remotely. So this is a situation where Fontt should have had the early advantage, but they definitely made that comeback right when it counted. One more round over, and then obviously it would have been a 5-0 loss.
Yeah, but now Fontt are starting off on the defense of round 1 of the overtime. Remember, when that number below hits 6, your team takes the map. So it's all about, well, really continuing the momentum, if you will, from Team Fontt coming into this. So Mav's going to be set up on the Val. We see Gohan on the smoke, and Mav just opening up the sides of the wall here so they can get a decent bit of crossfire, actually, take down anybody. Since so far, attackers going into the basement have been coming around through the tower and not really going through the main hall.
And that's probably where it needs to change up, because obviously that stopped working the last time they tried it. They're definitely going to have to switch it up, maybe come around from the like you said, the main lobby down the stairs. We do see the Blackbeard not over here this time, which is a little bit of a change up. So maybe they will go for that push.
Falco dropping into the tower.
There we go, back to the push they were doing before. Maybe they figured we just made a few mistakes, we can make it work this time.
Yeah, this is something to think about as well. Maybe, they do realize that, okay, we did this, this, and this, that was wrong. Yeah. Let's try it again and actually check for the crossfire.
But you see so many people down here ready for it. On the Fontt side, it's going to be an uphill battle because it's too predictable now, something we talked about on the desk earlier, about the predictability of Rogue really backfiring on them. Now it looks like Millenium, having won those first 4 rounds, are falling into that trap.
A great flash to come in here, but Livin was a bit too far away to try and capitalize on it. Astro had set himself in the tower stairs, right below the actual stairwell. So he's in a pretty good spot. It's bit by bit, Rensher. Blackbeard moves up, and here we go. Astro takes him out, and Millenium lose out the first player in the round.
Stairs are Blackbeard's worst enemy by far. And you see why now, because it makes it a situation where his face is not covered the way you'd like it to be. There's another follow-up by Moringa, already taking down 2 Millennium's attackers, now 5v3. Even the guy who got down getting picked back up. Not looking good for Millennium at all.
Not at all. They still have the Ash, the Sludge, and the Hibana alive, and they're basically going to have to rush through this because there's no Twitch to help them out against the Mira wall.
And they've still got so much time left, too, and it's got to feel bad to lose those vital operators for that push, especially that Blackbeard, knowing that you had plenty of time left to do something about it, but now you don't have the manpower to make it work.
Now, the thing is, with the hatches being open, it really means that Fontt can't just keep rotating all the time around these set to get themselves in a better position. But here we go. Astro's ready, takes down one. They spot one more dropping right in through the main hatch. Turns around, Astro with one more. Astro can't get the third as Falco goes huge with a triple kill. Still 2 more alive. He has to go for the ace here if he wants to win it, but no. They're already in position for it and clean him up. Falco demolished at the end by Moringa.
Great 3K, but a crossfire he just could not fight. You see how he was hiding just around that corner. That would have been a tough situation, as he would have had to round that corner in a way just to get the pre-fire. Might have just got crossfired in the meantime, doing it anyways. So it's probably just a death warrant just coming out from at that point. Nothing he could do. And that's already going from 0 wins to 5 rounds in a row.
I'd like to highlight that in the EU Pro League, we had this season with Penta vs Pedux, where Penta came back after being down 4-0. I believe it was Bordeaux. I'm not exactly sure what map it was, but that was a heck of a game. Yeah. It happened yet again in the relegations, and now we're seeing it again on land.
Yeah. It reminds me of a Continuum 6-round comeback on Cafe like a season ago. It's one of those just comebacks you just did not see coming. But so far, Millennium should have probably by now figured out, okay, the things we did 4 rounds in a row were great, those first 4 rounds. Now they're just not working the next 4 rounds in a row. Time to do something different. Not sure that they've completely gotten through their head yet, as that last round showed. They just did not make it work, and their predictability got them killed early on, losing 2 people way earlier than they should have. So if Millennium start dropping people quick here, this is going to be a problem for them. But I think we're seeing our first castle here of this match, so they're definitely changing stuff up. But will it be enough? I'm not sure. Falco going to definitely be a wild card on that castle. Maybe even playing upstairs with it to be just kind of that delay tactic that we see sometimes, trying to make sure that they can't take control of the top floor and work their way down.
Yeah, and okay, so Falco's going to be rotating back in. They castled through the kitchen, and there's nobody actually standing on the top side. I think this was just a diversion to make a lot of noise.
I mean, obviously, he doesn't have the mute jammers now.
All right. Okay, so a castled wall. He comes in. He sees the hatch open. They're just confused at what's going on.
Yeah,
why would you dedicate a castle wall up there?
Just slow them down, I guess. Make it harder for them to come to that hatch.
Go. Twitch drone is going to get taken down as Astro already has control of the top main hall here of the dorms. Gohan trying to spray in as Falco, well, actually climbs all the way back up. Now is in control of the opposing side on the tower.
And this is the map where I originally remember Falco on Youngtis just being a big surprise all the time. You never knew where he was going to end up, and now you see him playing mind tricks with the castle walls, but the kills start coming down.
There we go, a 1v1, Yogurts and Falco, the frag each. Falco just going to the opposing side of the map and somehow able to string a kill through that. Moringa is on site with the Hibana as Yogurts is set on the main stage and Falco right behind. Renshaw is down on the floor, but they can't really help him out. They can use him as bait. Bus all ready for him here. Moringa gets one, cleans up Renshaw as well, and this makes it a 3v3. Means that Millennium will have to fall back on site. Moringa, unfortunately, a second too fast there, if you will. Wasn't able to catch the rotation from Falco down back into the basement.
Now they know where they're both coming from. That barbed wire hit's going to be obvious, as well as the camera seeing them from the other side, so they know the pinch is coming, but will they be able to defend against it with just 3 defenders left?
Gohan now set up on laundry stairs, trying to go for a quick peek. Won't be finding anyone. This is where you wish you had a Capitao to play with.
Yeah, absolutely, or at least some extra grenades to huck in, as we saw some great grenade kills that way earlier. That smoke is really delaying him, though. It might have been a bit premature, but it is really slowing down Cameraman here, and that's a big deal. But he manages to get across, goes for the plant.
It's a really good spot to be in, because that smoke usually is used to delay the attackers to come in, but this basically clouded the view, if you will, of the defenders, as now Cameraman has set himself in a much better spot. Gets one, though. Falco has been dropped as Stiz gets the kill on Gohan. This is, though, a perfect spot to be in because you have the fire from the hatch, though. Stiz is left alive here. He can definitely go for quick sprays, but no! Fontt, Moringa's ready, and in overtime, the Brazilians take it. They come back from 0-4.
6 rounds in a row.
6 rounds in a row, and they take map number 1 on Border. This is absolutely insane what we're seeing here.
That's got to really take the wind out of your sails, going 4 rounds in a row thinking, this is easy. What were we so worried about? You know what? This Astro just standing in the smoke, doesn't even care. Are they even here right now? And then 6 rounds in a row of, we made a big mistake here.
13-7 for Moringa.
So he really came alive. They did not depend on Astro. Not that Astro slacked with 11, but they definitely showed up for sure. I mean, and Moringa being one of the newer players as well on the team, so that is a big deal for them. So, I mean, I believe he came from Pain Gaming too, so it was a good transition for him over to what is clearly now the winning team. 6 rounds in a row. Brutal, and now of course, we're going to see that Consulate that we were so excited about earlier.
Mav with the explosive, basically just like, oh, it was amazing, it was so good. We completely destroyed them on the comeback. And this is basically what the entire scene is feeling right now in Brazil. I know the French scene is pretty big, and they're supporting Millenium through all of this. I know even Fofiopat, a big friend of the entire French scene, is in the audience, and yes, they all have to feel very disappointed with this play style.
We're seeing some of the great early rounds that were all in Millenium's favor here. So these were ones where they were really winning these battles, especially over these dorm fights. Falco with a nice kill there, that followed up by Yogurts and Stiz, just dominating at the beginning, just making it seem like Fontt wasn't even showing up for it. But then all of a sudden we see these kills start to come in. Gohan starting to bring it back a little bit. Still a little slow climb up though as they try to get to those,
this spot, this spot from Livin was just absolutely insane. Saw the quick jump from Stiz.
I need that
that's
back.
mine. Let's go back in, and there we go.
This is when they were still on it for a moment, but then this is the round that has started to fall apart, thinking like, oh, it's fine, we're on match point, we can take this. And Moringa definitely changing it up a bit, and Renshiro thinking, oh, we have this fine. Getting Moringa, definitely turned around though at the last second, as everything fell apart from there.
And the triple kill here from Astro with a double spray with a pistol at the end of P226. Just cleaning everyone up. Astro getting the first kill on here. Falco, unfortunately, wasn't able to go for the quick trade as he had already gotten 1 kill on the opposing end, but couldn't really grab the second one, and Livin, unfortunately, did not live up to the name, as they say.
Yeah. So now Astro finally was starting to show up like big time as well, getting a lot of kills, but then just, you see a lot of these rounds collapse the last like 30 seconds or so when Millenium, felt like they had it, and that's, I almost felt like Team Fontt played into that, like that momentum that they thought they had, and just let's go ahead, come into us, and it just seemed to fall apart very quickly all of a sudden.
Yeah, this is the good spot from Cameraman here, as he did use the smoke to his advantage, running up all the way to the opposing end, setting himself in the laundry room, and just going for a plant immediately, knowing that if the plant is down, the round is pretty much secure. Yeah,
and it's a difficult position to be in because it's hard to even hit the smoke that far. That's a situation where sometimes we see them just go for the C4 in a situation like that where you're hoping that the splash will catch whoever might be trying to go for the plant. But even then, you could maybe try and trap the person planting the diffuser with the smoke. It's just a hard angled hit. Distance is a big deal with throwing things in this, and that's why you practice the smoke throws, you practice your C4 throws.
I mean, with some of the those. Pretty much, I think, who was it? Panari was explaining to me, he's a really, really good C4 user. He explained to me that if you're defending border in the basement and you're sitting behind the normal reinforced Mira area where the smoke would be, you can actually have a C4 being thrown all the way to where the barbed wire would be on the stairs.
Yeah.
It takes a bit of practice, but you can definitely do it. The thing is, you don't always have the information to play off of to see how you should judge that distance to go for the C4
That's
throw.
why you usually have the mirror windows there to be able to help with that, but a situation where you may also get pinched down from the holes that you create, grenades coming down, Capitao, things like that. It's not always a perfect storm of information to be able to make those calls, and you really have to be good and practice to doing that. And they seem to be, most of the time, but obviously that worked out well in Thermite's favor as he managed to creep over there on Cameraman. we didn't see any kind of Zig pulse rusher.
No. Now, we saw Zig trying to do...
We saw that earlier.
Yeah, actually do that and go for the triple kill on the stairs, but not going to have that here. So, let's get a bit more diplomatic here.
Yeah.
We're going to set ourselves on Consulate, map number 2 in this series.
So again, all 3 of these bomb spots viable. The upstairs administration room, the middle there, like the big oval lobby, and then the downstairs garage. Garage is, of course, being the original big thing in the game back in the day, but now they are slowly making a comeback, especially Mute here on Falco. Again, we were talking about how great of a Mute player he is. You don't usually see people Mute mains. It's one of those rare things that's like, oh, Falco's playing Mute? Okay, cool, let's watch this.
Yeah.
And so it's great to see that he's continuing that to show us some interesting ideas. With 4 jammers and extended range, when they buffed Mute a while back, it really opened up the possibilities, and I think Falco's still been exploring those.
Yeah, and he definitely has some stuff hidden away and ready for this. You know, I was talking to him last night. He came up in the hotel room and actually found him sitting just in the floor, recollecting on his thoughts and the strategies that they have. And he's like, you know, we all know that Fontt is really, really good, but I think we're ready. I trust my team. I'm here to show my best, and then I will see. If I'm the problem, then I will assume that I am the problem. And he's coming in as lucid as possible. He told me they'd rather come in as the underdog because there's no real expectations, like huge ones, to really have on your shoulders.
Yeah. Well, they're definitely hoping that this defense here is going to hold up in the way they're playing it. Doing the downstairs basement defense, but then playing these people kind of reinforced upstairs. It's tricky when you're playing this bathroom like that because you can end up pinching yourself in. And so they definitely have castled a lot.
They have a rotation hole basically to try and go back into the hall, but they have castled the hall behind it basically. This is a very interesting setup actually. I haven't seen much of this.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully it works in terms of at least getting the momentum that they need early on. Last time that worked out not so well for them after the 4 rounds in a row, just completely losing it. So hopefully if they manage to win some of these early rounds, they can keep it going.
No, well, Mav moving bit by bit here. It's just going to be staying on the balcony. Now, a few of the tricks that I had Pengu actually explaining to me, it's like, you don't really need to peek through there. You just can't hang off of your rope. Just stand on the side of the balcony and just wait, because you don't want to be the main fragger of your team. You just want to take control of basically the outside of the site.
Yeah. Not
allow the defenders to rotate.
So this Blackbeard pushing in very aggressively all the way into the inside, surprising. Now this is a situation like you're talking about, like, you know, playing those windows and things like that, but he's just not even bothering with it. Astro, though, is definitely capitalizing on the chaos being created, running around getting some serious kills here, but he has lost half his health, so puts him in a situation where they could potentially trade back the next kill you might do.
All right. Valkyrie is going to be set in by the exit stairs here, so pretty standard from Millenium. They have the Mira back in the cafeteria. So far, so good. They actually have Falco on the site as the Mute. He's a bit lower on HP. They did lose Outlivin, which is why you're seeing them just completely all huddled up on the site at the moment. Astro, again, is down at 60% HP. He is in yellow stairs trying to find an entry through this, but Stiz in the meantime getting one and then gets himself very low on HP. Cleaned up from the top by the Buck. Well done by cameraman.
They're definitely playing down this from the typical top-down style. Now, they did take out the Bandit, but they still haven't opened up the wall from the looks of it. Not sure. Oh, no, it looks like they did blow it open, which is good because they did lose their Thermite. But then as I say that, 2 Fontt members killing 2. Millenium bringing it all down to just Rinshiro's shoulders here. Good luck.
Nicely done. Final killing up from Mav on the Blackbeard. Make sure that Millenium's first round is not a victory. They do not want to give Millenium the momentum advantage coming into this.
Well, that didn't seem to matter at the end of the day when it came to Oregon, so I wouldn't feel too bad if he did this time.
Yeah,
but,
new map, new me. That's what they say.
Yeah, it's like wearing a new dress here for them. So, I mean, this is the map that I figured is more likely to be a bit more Fontt favored in this case. Whereas, you know, we talked about earlier, Fontt have a little more wins on this one, whereas Millenium had a little more wins on the other one. And it did start to look like Millenium were going to be able to capitalize on that on Oregon. Losing that and now being on the map that maybe is a little bit more Fontt favored, is going to be a big problem for them, because then that means a potential 2-0 situation here where we don't end up seeing map 3.
Yeah.
So it'll be the first time we don't see border today.
I'm sure Matt is very happy about that, isn't he? He usually is always expecting the coastline, but unfortunately.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow when the real big tricks get pulled out of the bag.
I can't wait for that though.
So good setup here. Now the Fontt trying to do the same bomb spot here as Millenium did downstairs in the basement. No one wanting to start upstairs. Upstairs used to be the preferred bomb site, but we're seeing downstairs being a big thing again.
This is interesting. They only open up 2.
I would expect it's a late reinforcement, but there's still only 5 seconds left here. Maybe someone goofed here. Gohan jumping in the last second. Still has enough time to reinforce it, but it is a little risky to do so if they rush in on you.
All right, so they're probably going to have 2 players set on the top floor, Astro and Moringa. So the Bandit and the Jaeger. One's going to take control of admin, the other one's going to take control of the actual Visa area. But the spawns are not on the eastern side, they're all along the northwest. So might just have him rotate to there and maybe have the Bandit drop down into Piano.
Yeah, Bandit definitely playing it a bit crazy up here. Along with Jaeger, I believe I saw over in the admin area as well.
Oh boy, here we go.
The peek almost works, but he spends way too much time outside. Totally going to get spotted.
No, Moringa failing there with the aggressive play on the Bandit, spraying the entire mag. Doing a lot of damage, but no actual elimination.
Well, Renshiro's going to have to watch that now, and I think that was, in the end, that's the more important thing, is making him split focus, so maybe Astro could do something with that and maybe finish the job onto Blackbeard there. But the wall's just smoky. I mean, obviously they did get it reinforced, but a lot of good that did between Hibana and Thermite just ripping the wall apart.
Yeah, well, Renshiro Nets now still set up top side. I believe we're going to keep the Blackbeard in this spot, and he's just going to be checking. Astro, basically both Astro and Moringa want to go for a quick peek, want to go for an early, well, a bit of a kill, at least on one of the players.
Here we go. There's that follow-up.
Blackbeard. Here we go.
That's what I was talking about.
Astro gets the Blackbeard here. Renshiro finally eliminated. Falco actually on the hollow Thatcher of all things is set up right outside the garage doors here, and trying to find maybe a pick as well before moving in. Livin scavenging the body of his fallen teammate. Astro's ready maybe.
He's just waiting for the opportunity. Livin also kind of waiting, but Gohan gets Stiz in the meantime, and this is not looking great for Millenium.
Yeah, they lose out the Blackbeard and the Hibana, and we can definitely see the jump out from Astro if the information is there. Yogurt still finally taking out Gohan. And Livin just moving in, droning in with the Thermite.
Oh, this could be Astro's opportunity to catch him while he's on his drone, although that drone could have easily found him as well.
He still has the Bandit, he still has Moringa to feel things out, to actually check for info if their camera is still along the outside. Moringa moves back in. The Jaeger's right behind, ready for Yogurts on the Ash. And almost getting the team kill there. Diffuser's been dropped, and Livin is last man alive. He goes through the main stairs.
4v1.
Livin is an absolute god at R6, but I don't think he's good enough for this. And here we go, jumping in. It's the Jaeger again. Astro grabbing the Blackbeard, grabbing the Ash, and grabbing the Thermite at the end of the day.
That Bandit Jaeger combo. Bager, that's the new name for it. The Bager Roam. That Bager Roam was definitely great. I mean, we saw the jump outs, the window peaks.
Yes.
Just the way they played the team. I mean, you could not feel safe anywhere on the map, inside or outside at that point, and they definitely played off that. Astro was rotating at just the right time to help back up Bandit, catch the other guys from behind. It was just, that was a match made in heaven right there, and that was exactly what they needed to do.
To be honest, I was kind of expecting Millenium to just say, okay, if they're going to try to peek us from here, let's not push here. Let's not go here.
No, we want to go here so bad, we don't care anymore.
And this is what I really don't understand, because they ended up losing the Blackbeard, and then, well, basically after he got peeked twice. And also, the Thermite near the end, basically, they heard him moving, and they're like, okay, let's just wait, take the rest, and leave the Thermite alone, isolate him, and then we can take him down at the end. So, I'm not sure about maybe a bit of stubbornness from Millenium.
Yeah. I mean, it was funny that Fontt just let them completely open up that garage, too, and a lot of good it did them.
No, well, this is going to be a main entrance defense. This would have been a pretty good spot to have a Monty to play around with, but won't have that at all. Now taking control, well, at least trying to take control of admin is the FAMAS player here, Twitch Astro. Gonna set in the shock drone, the second one of the two. Now just gonna move in and check the front offices, check the cafeteria area. And oh, can he open this up? Yes, he can. He uses his teammate's drone as a distraction. Now trying to do a bit extra damage on Renshiro, who's going on the mirror and has to fall back.
Oh, it's working though. Feels bad. Situations where that drone just tilts you and it's just attacking you over and over like that. Astro really wanting to put the sting to them.
It's the stingray, as they say. Astro going in with the FAMAS here.
Now, he's definitely an aggressive player when he can make it work. Now, he knows obviously where Renshiro is after chasing him so many times, but...
All right, but this is great, though. Falco's position and tellers can help them out quite a bit to actually go for a quick rotation, a quick back range, if you will. However, kill number one is going to be set in as Yogurts will get shot down on the Jaeger. Astro taking a lot of damage in this, but Gohan still moving in, still trying to make sure that equipment and cameras especially are taken out ASAP.
Minute 20 left, though. The attackers definitely seem to have stalled out at this point. Oh, there's a nice kill there by Livin, though. Just barely making that work. Trying to slow them down even more here, killing Moringa. Now it is a 1-for-1 trade as attackers and defenders 4v4. As I say that, though, Falco nicely done onto one of the top fraggers. I was going to say the top fragger, but we saw some great work from Moringa last map.
And now he's waiting for the second one. There always has to be a follow-up. And so he wants to catch a player that gets a bit too greedy and wants to go for the quick clean, which is something that you would usually try to go for in a one-on-one trade.
Absolutely. In a situation where the diffuser is dropped, it looks like. So someone's going to have to pick that back up, although Livin does finally get punished by Gohan. Now bringing it back down to a 3v3, and the diffuser finally gets picked back up. Attackers might be able to get the momentum here if Falco can drop it. He does.
Fontt, all three in a row. Gohan, Cameraman, and Mav with a kill each. And this was the best chance you could have had if you're defending, because if you're defending, you don't want to put everybody on the ground floor, which is what used to happen back in the day.
Yeah.
You want to take control of the first floor, because this way opening up the hatches means that you have just direct line of sight over everything below.
Absolutely. But it seems like Fontt have just been capitalizing on all of these plays, not necessarily saying, oh, you know, they've got an advantage on us, we'll just find the kills still. We're actually going to see our first dock, I believe, here as well.
Yes. Get the first dock of the entire day, really.
Well, there was the dock shotgun earlier.
Yes. And actually, I'm not sure. We actually have to ask if that was just they didn't set up the settings correctly, which
you know
is
what?
why.
It worked, though, so
yes.
I would question. I think it was just magic.
Don't change a winning team,
right?
As they say. So this is very good, because if you have Astro and Gohan that are going to be roaming around with Cameraman very correctly being set on the pulse to gather the camera info, then Moringa can heal up his teammates, give them a bit extra, basically, well, a bit extra HP to play around with if they want to go for a quick
Well, and he'll be a great sight player in that he can keep himself alive as well. Let's say someone gets a hold of those windows, starts making the peaks on him, he can get it to cover, heal himself back up, and continue to hold that B site as long as possible. And this is the bomb site that used to be the big favorite, but we're just now seeing it. We haven't seen a lot of it so far.
All right, Astro set up again. The admin office. Yogurts is ready for him this time, though.
Wants to make it happen here. A little bit of a late setup, though, just getting the first of his 3 ADSs up. That's kind of a little sloppy work there, and that might ultimately cost him if they start getting those nades in there.
Well, he has one now set in admin. Another one, I believe, is set on the site itself. So this way, he can't be flushed out easily from the admin office. Basically, just wasting time as much as possible for the attackers.
And he's doing a good job holding with his teammates here. An interesting play by Cameraman, though.
This is it.
This is a great place, especially if you want to catch people coming in that Visa door. We used to see that a lot with C4 and people as they walked in, especially when Montaigne was a thing. It was a great way to stop him from walking in. But there's a C4 coming out from a different player entirely, Gohan getting Renshiro.
Yeah, Blackbeard has now been eliminated, so the players that you usually be ready for, to go from the balcony, or at least be your ready defense of the bomb plant, has been eliminated. And now it's all up to the fast operators here to get on site. And unfortunately, with the dock alive, this gives the defenders a pretty big advantage in the healing department.
I mean, they obviously can't push that B window. And then Astro taking down the Bonnet is just even more utility off the board here. And they're just going to be forced with firefights.
He wants to drop in. Astro, I believe he shot one bullet there, making his position hurt in the copy room.
There's the drone, though, to make sure he knows.
Oh, he still has one teammate to help him out. That is the dock. Might just go for a quick charge back on him. Here we go. Very good communication and team play. And this is what Livin does not know. Yogurt's trying to set himself in. They don't know. It's the second one in here. He grabs one, goes for the second, almost takes him down. Astro goes up with a pistol as well. 1v1 against Livin, takes him out. Astro, Falco in the meantime, getting one on Gohan. But Astro even goes in, hits it on Falco. Are you kidding me? Takes him out.
His second multi-pistol kill to finish round there.
Pistol kills? Are you kidding me?
You know, sometimes I feel like Astro leans a bit on the FAMAS, but he has proven that he's just as lethal with a pistol, with a total 4K so far with that.
1,200 rate of fire.
Yeah, he's just tapping that thing as a death machine. Now we're seeing the exact opposite of what we saw last map. Already on a 4-0 situation here, this time for Fontt. Are we going to see Millenium with the 4-6 round in a row comeback? Probably not.
They needed to stay alive, that is for sure. 4-0 here for Team Fontt, our second Brazilian team in the tournament, and our final matchup for the day in the quarterfinals.
This could be the round where they punch their ticket to day number 2.
Yep, and they're going to be, there we go, Astro at 9-1.
He doesn't want to let Moringa win this time. Like, he's like, hey, well, the last round was a fluke. Now you go back down to 1 kill. I'll take the 9. Especially with that pistol there. So this is where Millenium really need to figure out what they're doing wrong here. They're going to go for defending this middle floor here and hope that their setup works, or they're just going to have to at least adapt to what Team Fontt have been doing, because it's just not working.
No, not working at all. Well, Fontt are going to go for the IQ, which is something a lot of teams have been going for. They don't really want to face the Valkyrie info play.
Yeah, they don't want the jump outs with too much intel kind of thing.
And this is something definitely Fizz and Yogurts can be prone to doing.
So they're definitely going to be setting up probably for a top-down attack, which is probably good because there are at least a few members of Millenium upstairs that they're going to have to contest with. And then once they get that top-down control, they can start using hatches and other things to try and start going for that plant and defending it. There's a scan for those cameras.
Stiz hiding up top in the admin office. Very difficult here to take him out because of his positioning, basically. Astro is going to be moving in with the shock drone. This is his last one really to play around with. And can he get the mirror?
Nice.
Again? Yes, he can. Astro opens it up and will force the mirror back here. Renshiro can't really do a ton against him in this spot.
Great play by Astro. Just really using that shock drone as much as possible. Obviously, he's a Twitch main, so it's not a surprise that he's good at using that shock drone. But it is really kind of bit Millenium in the butt a few times, especially the Mira.
Well, here we go. C4 from Stiz, though.
Nice punch.
And he takes down Astro, so no more Twitch drones for you, my friend.
Nope, but hey, getting the window open was a good almost trade for his life. But Astro down, obviously being the top fragger on this map right now, is going to maybe give Millenium a chance to bring this back, especially with Livin there in that angle.
Again, Livin gets the kill. Gohan was eliminated before in the IQ, so now Thermite, Twitch, and IQ are down with basically no kills for Fontt in this. Map has control of the site, but he trades off for Yogurts. Will get eliminated in this one, though.
It's cameraman
trying to move in from the entryway here. Stiz gets the kill, finally cleaning up, and Falco's ready. Ladies and gentlemen, the French are not out yet, and Falco feels pretty good about this one.
I feel like both these teams can't seem to perform until it's really on the wire at match point.
It's crunch time.
Yeah, they're really like, oh, okay, now it's time to turn on. So that is the first round on the board there for Millenium of this map. Obviously doing quite well at the start last map, but ultimately losing it means they need to win this map if they want to stick around for tomorrow. Right now it's not looking great for that, but again, we saw a 6-round comeback last map, so entirely within the realm of possibility, just maybe not within the realm of probability.
Yes, numbers and numbers again.
Well, in this case, hopefully the numbers are in their attack favor here, as it just has not been working on attacking this basement. for Millenium. But they did show a good adaptation in their defense of the upstairs. This is just not an easy one to attack the way that Fontt have been playing it. Very spread out, very much taking advantage of their mobility, especially that Jaeger Bandit combo, as we saw last time. Some great peaks. They're willing to take advantage of the fact that this is one where you're going to play outside a lot.
Oh, Moringa is going to try to set up here. Or maybe we'll see those batteries being set in position right up front. Here we go.
There we go. Which is good. Worked out for him last time, but eventually they're going to get control potentially of Piano.
Oh, this works out pretty well because there's no Thatcher to deal with this.
Yeah. Oh, and there's a window right on the garage door too. Gives them an idea when they're going for that thermite kind of plan. Oh no, they don't have a thermite. Sorry, that Cabana. Even if they don't attempt it, you still get some intel that they're not trying to do it.
Yeah, this basically not having the Thatcher basically forces Millenium to take control of Piano.
It's not only that, but they just don't have a Thatcher or a thermite. So it's a situation where they're definitely going to have to improvise a little bit. They do have a shock drone that they could potentially use in lieu of taking Piano, but it is a little risky in that it's pretty easy to lose that shock drone.
Here we go. They're going to go all the way up top to the admin room here, but Astra's ready for him, and they know that there's somebody lurking up top. That's the way that Fontt like to play. As you see the drone being thrown in, they actually have two waiting here.
Looked like he shot him with the ADS.
With the ADS, yep. Throws the ADS on the drone, gets the kill, takes it out, and Moringa is on the opposing side. Livin's drone is going to get shot down, so I believe Twitch has no more drones to play around with, I believe.
Got this admin beggar combo going on.
Only one left.
Starting shock drone.
So he's going to definitely make use of it. See if he can get anything. Oh, unfortunately, bad throw there by Yogurt. It's going to hurt a little bit.
And he has the 416 in hand just to make sure Yogurt chimes in, gets the kill on Astro. And that's the first thing that Millenium have to do. But Ness gets one, gets traded by Stiz. They're already on the top side here trying to take control of the admin area and just the entire Visa area. As Falco is set in yellow stairs, Yogurt goes to the service stairs in the back, just making sure that nobody from Fontt is trying to catch them off guard.
Man advantage here to Millenium, though. This could be another round comeback, potentially, if they can keep this man advantage up. But they are against a lot of tricky defenders here who are playing downstairs now on site. So now they're going to have to take advantage of the control they have upstairs and capitalize on that. Otherwise, there's not much point getting those early kills. And they did lose their Blackbeard.
So Yogurt's sitting up still on the service stairs, not going to find much, and I believe Millenium just going to try and get into a better position before they push on Fontt. And here we go from the back. Map taken down, and that's a smoke out, but Gohan runs in, gets one. Oh, almost trades with Falco, but Falco takes him out. Cleans him here. Cameraman left alive against 3. If he aces this, or if he gets this kill, then maybe he'll be able to win his C4 right in front. Gates 1, but still 2 ready for him. Pulls out the shotty, gets the kill. 1 more alive in the 1v1. Has time to reload. Cameraman goes in for the 1v1, but Falco's ready, and the Frenchman will save the round.
That was very close to being the end for Millenium in the semifinals so far. So that was not a great place to be. But they did manage to win it, now bringing it 2 rounds back. There's still a chance Millenium could stay in this. But even if they take it all the way to overtime, it's still going to be the chance to try and come back easily from Fontt to win 2 more rounds like they did last map.
Well, currently we will set back up. It is 4-2.
Yep. Match point against Millenium. They've got to win 2 more rounds in a row or they are completely out for the day. And then we're going to see Fontt move on to tomorrow to have their chance against Penta. And that's going to be a heck of a match if that comes up. But either way, Millenium against Penta would also be a heck of a match. So looking forward to whoever wins this. Still a chance for Millenium, though. We saw this exact mirror on Oregon.
Yeah.
As we mentioned earlier, 4 rounds in a row for Millenium to start off. Then all of a sudden, 6 rounds in a row from Fontt. Now we're seeing 4 rounds in a row from Fontt. 2 rounds in a row to start it from Millenium. However, now that we have a little bit of a break, momentum can shift, as often does happen when there's some break. We may have some potential technical issue, something they need to set up for. So hopefully they can get that back underway quickly and attempt to continue their comeback.
Yep. Maybe this is the thing maybe that Fontt need to clean this up. I mean, you have Millenium losing the momentum at the end after stringing together 2 rounds, and very well played with a final clutch by Falco at the end. So, I mean, this can definitely work out both ways. We've been saying this pretty much all day, like, oh, who knows, haha. But really, at this point, seeing how the comeback was on the first map, it was pretty close, even on the rounds that were won later on by Fontt.
Yeah.
So it was just, they were the better that round, and that's pretty much it. There's no clear 100% this team is better than everybody.
I mean, to be fair, though, that second round comeback was even pretty close. Millenium did almost lose that. Falco almost falling prey to that. In fact, that C4 could have almost gotten a double kill on its own.
And I was expecting it to actually do that.
Yeah, it was very close.
It was so close between the two.
And that fight was so scrappy in the cafeteria there as they just kind of dodged each other. I was almost waiting for like a knife fight to break out as it looked like they needed to go for the reload. So they did ultimately manage to
I'm surprised because Shate can confirm with the Mira ITA shotgun, that thing does not have a lot of range, does it?
No, but hey, if you're close enough, it can be very lethal. Treat you like a wall and put a big hole in you. So obviously it worked out in the end for Millenium, but it was very close. Falco coming into clutch there, just barely pulling it off. Now he needs a little bit of water to refresh himself. That get a little sweat off. So these guys got to be taking advantage of this now to really think about what they can do to continue the comeback. And then, of course, Fontt going to be thinking the opposite of what can we do to just shut this out and make sure that we go on to day 2. So we can rest and not have to play a map 3.
Yeah, and having that extra time to go back to your room and get some food and watch the VODs, make sure that you're prepared for the next game, is very important. And this is why some teams believe that without having a coach with you to help out,
it's a lot of work.
Yeah, it really gets very, very hectic, really, to deal with if you're only the in-game leader. But, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to go back in a game. So far, 4-2. Fontt are so far in control, and they're up 1-0. All they need is one more round. Millenium had the 2 up, and Livin's going to go for the mute this time.
Falco and Jaeger?
Falco,
they are definitely...
They switched PCs.
Yeah, they just stood up. And I mean, this is definitely a bit of a surprise in terms of how they're going to play this. Maybe this will be what helps them continue their comeback, or maybe this will be the fatal mistake that got made earlier.
I'm not too sure why. Because of how well Falco has been playing so far on that mute, I really want to see, I'm really curious to see why Livin has been selected.
But maybe they promoted Falco to the carbine after clutching that last round. They're like, we're going to give you a better gun because you clutched out that last one for us.
Well, this is going to start the setup here, opening up in the meeting room.
The Deagle basically being a handheld shotgun.
Basically.
In those situations. That caliber destruction really paying off, at least for the Deagle. Look at him setting up even taking down some of the furniture to give him positions to rotate. And that's the beauty of the destructibility in this game. It doesn't just mean the walls. It means setting up all kinds of positioning.
It means that he can position himself in a way where he's not in the line of fire of a balcony player that's set up outside. So you might see, oh, why is he destroying everything? Well, this is exactly it, because it gives you the advantage either to have a line of sight or to counter it. And here we go. Renshiro with the first kill of the round. C4 being thrown out and taking down Astro early on. And that's no more Twitch.
That's
the Twitch
an important one. Yeah, I mean, he has been the top fragger this map.
He's been taking down Renshiro's mirror walls the entire game.
Yeah, take that out early, get the job done. And we still have more C4 to go here. You had, for example, Stiz in the balcony area that we were talking about. He's got the C4 ready to throw. Anyone trapped on that balcony could be easily eating a C4. But it looks like Mav is just wondering if he's going to try that, actually. See if he can cover his own back since he doesn't have a teammate watching it for him.
Yeah, he's staying pretty far away just to be sure. And nobody's really going to be killing on him early on. Nade's going to get thrown in. A bit of damage done to Livin, but not really much to mention. And the second one's going to get thrown on the opposing end onto the right side. Not going to get much out of that.
Falco takes a little, though.
Whew. Okay, so now the drone has been spotted to the side by Livin. Gohan gets one, but Falco immediately gets the info from his mute and will get the kill on a Jaeger. The combo's working well, but the breaching round is taken out by an ADS planted in the middle of the admin office.
Thanks to Falco's new position.
This is Falco. These small things, the ADS taking down the breaching charge, him gaining the info from Livin, who's in a better position.
This is a good change.
It really was the good change.
But it's 4-3 right now, so there's only a one-man advantage. So this still could turn around for Fontt. But they do seem to have lost some of their momentum. They do get the diffuser back at least. That's a good start. You're going to need that to win the round probably.
They still have not cleaned up the one player on the side here. Remember, Livin is still by the maintenance stairs.
Yeah, they're
actually by the yellow
got a
stairs
pinch
there.
here. Falco having to open his way through with 12 hits if he can get that many.
A lot of teams now have been actually getting the 11 taps onto it just so they can clean up the last, but Yogurts and Stiz with a kill each, and they actually clean it up. Livin with the last of Millennium, 3-4.
Could we see the second comeback, the second overtime? This is still last round to decide it. Obviously, this last round, if Fontt win it, they go home, the champions for today, and move on to day 2. If Millennium can win this next round, all they get is overtime and the chance to possibly play map 3.
Yeah.
So they're definitely in a bad position, even if they win this, because they've got a lot of fight left to do. So hopefully, either way, that this becomes a good fight for this particular round, especially if it happens to be the last one.
This has been an absolute slugfest between both teams. It's just
very surprisingly
punch after punch, and you know what? Rocky Balboa is actually playing instead of Falco today, and they're able to stand alive, Millennium. They're ready for this, and they just need one more round to take it into overtime.
Well, they didn't change up operators on attack, though. At least Falco's still playing the sledge. He's been playing a lot, living on that Twitch that he's been playing. So that's pretty much what they've been doing. That was a nice surprise last round with that switch-up really working out for them.
So, not much really has changed. They're saying Fontt going for the regular Bandit Jaeger with the Val, with the Mira, and the smoke. Just defending the lower side. Again, will they reinforce this?
There we go. Oh, he's last.
Okay, Gohan jumps in at the last second and then reinforces it. All right.
I believe that's what happened last time, too. So that's their MO, I guess. Maybe it's not really last second. That's just he's got to get his camera set up.
I mean, it's because you have to have the Bandit and the Jaeger already setting up on the opposing side of the map because they're taking control of the first floor.
Absolutely. Stiz, though, going to be trying to take control of this top floor with his drone going out already. Definitely trying to get as much intel as he can, but not really spotting anyone. This is definitely, I mean, that's a good thing for you, right? You want to come into a room that's empty, much better than coming to a room that's full.
Yeah.
But it is also nice to have some idea where everyone's at. So now he has a choice. He could continue droning and perhaps lose his edge on intel, or he could, you know, jump in now and take advantage of the fact that the rooms are empty. Livin, though, doing his good job on that Twitch drone, taking out some of those mirror windows.
Yeah, yet again, those mirror windows are not lasting too long, at least
the shot
for both teams pretty much.
So,
Rensher on the outside of the balcony here, ready. Okay, there we go. Takes down one ADS. In the meantime, see Yogurts taking out the top stairs. Barbed wire now goes into the spiral staircase. Make sure there's nobody in there. There's actually one hiding in the bathrooms, and that's the Bandit, basically drilling holes with bullets down into the floor. And then the Jaeger on the opposite side in the actual sector area.
Now, we've seen a lot of great play from this Bager combo between Astro and Moringa, so I'm expecting a lot from these two guys to the very least delay as much as possible, but Astro just takes a chunk of health from Yogurt's off him, and he's going to have a heck of a fight here. Yeah, he has that nice long rifle, but this is a situation where Yogurt's clearly seems to be winning.
Well, Yogurt's moving up bit by bit here. He's expecting Moringa to maybe get a bit too aggressive against them, and then he can capitalize. Info's been relayed by Stiz as Astro's holding the cross angle here. And here we go, Flash coming right on in, but one's already been dropped, and here we go. Livin gets the kill. Astro's dropped to the floor, and he will get taken out. Nicely done. Too early on. The Bandit and the Jaegers have been eliminated with no deaths so far on Millennium. Just a bit of damage taken, and this leaves the Val the Mira and the smoke to retreat back onto the site. Falco with 1 and half HP on the Valda gets taken down. The Mira's on her own and she gets taken down. Ladies and gentlemen, Millenium are still in this. We're going into overtime.
Okay, so now we're seeing
The
kids. But
why?
Could
Why?
we see a 6-round comeback from Millenium, though?
Oh
Could
my
we really? I mean, we've already broken the mold last map with the 6-round comeback from Fontt.
I can't
Could Millenium do the same thing? I can't believe this either. This has been the most one-sided yet two-sided match I've seen in a while, where we'll just see one-sided to the point where they're about to win, and then boop, there goes the comeback. You know, no one taking it all the way to 5 like the Penta did earlier. Now, of course, we do have to rehost because we have to do the proper coin flip to determine who's going to be on what side because of the issue earlier. So this is a situation where they're going to have another second to recollect themselves and figure out how to play this. Now, obviously, Fontt are going to be thinking, wait a minute, we had this in the bag. Where did it go now?
Yeah, and basically it's the same thing that Millenium had on map number 1. I mean, you're saying this, we're like, no way it's going to happen.
No, they're not going to come back 4 rounds in a row.
And it seems like both teams strive under pressure. That's where they really do thrive as
I guess
players.
these are really momentum-based teams in that sense that obviously when they're winning, and then when they're losing, it can be a long streak before they come back. But overtime seemed to be still continuing the momentum last time because that 4-round comeback turned into a 6-round comeback from Fontt. Now the question is, are we going to see that, or are we going to see more of a tit-for-tat 5 each, and then all of a sudden someone pulling the 6 off?
Now, I hope Millenium have this basically mentality back in it. They do have Tapido Douche that's helping them in the back. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready. Let's get into round number 1 of overtime. Map number 2 in our final matchup here. Millenium versus Team Fontt. Fontt leading 1-0, but it's 4-4. And then you have a tiny best of 3 to decide, does Fontt just move up 2-0, or will Millenium take it to map 3?
There's a 3-round chance of map 3 here. So we'll see how it first starts. But we are going to start in the Consulate office meeting room with Millenium on the defense, and they're bringing out that castle again. So it should be interesting how they're going to play that. We are seeing Falco again on that Jaeger, something we were talking about earlier, but we aren't seeing the mute brought out. So, maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't. But I hope that their setup is going to be a little bit more unexpected for how Team Fontt have been attacking to continue that comeback streak that they've been playing. Obviously, Fontt are going to be a little more prepared for the unexpected, knowing, okay, obviously we can't just keep doing what we were doing earlier because now we've lost it, that love and feeling, and it's all up to Millenium now to continue to surprise.
Well, Renshiro is going to be set in admin office yet again. It seems like it's working out pretty perfectly for them. The Black Eyes have been set in, so info is going to get relayed pretty nicely between everyone. Renshiro will take down the castle wall here and will get refunded. Jogers will use it back again. And Renshiro is just going to set himself on here. He's going to have the Bandit Livin probably helping him out. Has the hatch open so we can watch anybody entering from the main floor. Pretty darn good standard and setup for Millenium.
Absolutely. So far, they're just opening up windows at this point. Cameraman just says, I want to make sure, we can get as many windows as open as possible. I mean, that's usually what you could bring a sledge for, but he just wants to, use his bullets. Why not give himself some range just in case any surprises are in store from Millenium? And I do hope there are some in store.
All right, drone is going to get thrown in here as cameraman just sets up just to make sure nobody is in yellow stairs, maybe waiting up for them here. The Twitch drone is right behind them to help. And actually do spot one of the players that the cameraman here might just go and get his drone back again.
Falco on the run.
Everything.
He's getting caught, though. I think that drone might have seen Falco there trying to play that kind of crazy spot. Might pop out the yellow stairs door, try and catch some people repelling if he can. Looks like he's on the move again, maybe deciding, okay, they might have some idea I was there. I'm going to have to surprise them a different way.
And this is very similar to the Falco that we saw playing in the Grand Finals last season with Penta, using that exact same spot. Ooh. Here we go. Astro grabbing kill number 1 from the yellow stairs here. He takes down Stiz, but Yogurts will refrag, taking down Gohan. So that's the Ash traded off for the smoke, and that is definitely a good thing for the attackers. Smoke being taken out with so much time left. Utility all gone.
I'm surprised he's not chucking, or no, I'm sorry, I was thinking that was the chuck drone, but it doesn't matter. The bullets come out there from the Blackbeard. good intel called across there to get that shot.
Yo, rushing right behind, but Astro turns around, gets the frag. No more Falco in the round here. They were pretty much ready for him with the drones, giving them info. The Val and the Bandit are still alive. The Bandit, Val here standing in the hallway. The Bandit by the exit stairs. They're going for some pretty good crossfire, and this works out very well for Livin as he grabs finally one for himself. Low on HP as the diffuser is going to get set down by Moringa. Cameraman right up behind as Mav is going to exchange his shields for a brand fresh new one. Livin and Renshiro trying to set up, but when you're pushing...
Yeah, this is going to be very, very hard for them, for Millenium to bring this back. They're really just going to have to kill everyone at this point to make it work, because that Blackbeard is just going to be death if they try to make a push. But there's a good start.
Starts out pretty well. Cameraman is going to get shot down. No more buck from the yellow stairs to worry about. The Blackbeard's been spotted, and he's already been sprayed down. Renshiro gets one. He drops one here. He still turns it into 1v1, and here we go. Livin, insane plays. He's running around, find the diffuser. Is there enough time? Tackled once, twice, the third, the fourth time, but no, not enough time. And Fontt will grab the first attack round on overtime.
I feel bad for Renshiro, but they thought they had that too. Like, they managed to get, had it been behind the desk, maybe there's still enough
extra
time.
Second and a half that it took them to run around. That's not a bomb plant position that you ever expect.
No, and I think ultimately that won them the round. I mean, obviously Blackbeard was playing time as much as he possibly could, just staying behind that desk, peeking back and forth, just trying to stay alive. I mean, I'm surprised they managed to get that kill, but ultimately they still lost the round, giving the first point of overtime here to Fontt is a big deal. That ends that comeback streak, so we are not going to see a 6th round in a row from Millenium. Not that we couldn't still see them win this, though.
But it's one round away again. It's Team Fontt that can just take this. Remember, you have to sit to 6 rounds. 3 kills for Livin in the previous one. Unfortunately, not enough time. All you needed was that extra second.
Yeah.
And it would have been done and done.
Given the fact that they managed to pull that clutch off, I definitely still think there's a possibility Millenium could pull this off. I mean, they clearly showed they only lost on time that round. Now, obviously, as attackers, they can obviously lose on time again if they can't manage to get that plant down. So,
last 20 seconds.
Yeah. They are going to bring up that dock again on Moringa, something that worked for them last time. So, no surprise to see that again.
And they're going to have Cameraman that's just going to be getting info. Then you'll have Astro and Mav each just roaming around. They can run back to the dock that'll help them out. This is very, very good. Basically means that 4 out of your 5 players have to work perfectly together, or else they're pretty much not living up to what you're expecting. Cameraman going for the heavy barrel UMP.
The heavy barrel.
Yeah, something, to help at the 100-meter range, basically. Oh, here we go. Falco's going to get spotted.
This is Cameraman doing his job here. We saw him doing this before, playing around underneath the visa office.
But there's nothing that Falco does that's not on purpose. And I believe they understand that there will be a pulse waiting around because he plays that exact same spot.
Yeah.
So
it's not a new technique.
Yeah. So is he doing this just to tell him, like, oh, we're dedicating too many players on this end? It's like, oh, you need to rotate back to the other side? It's definitely the mind games at this point.
Yeah. We'll see if Cameraman's really going to be useful if he can't manage to help them get some actual kills out of this intel.
There we go, dropping right on into admin. Stiz still droning right in front here, making sure that he won't get taken out as soon as he gets in. Still one player to try and deal with. Livin is setting on this, well, actually, on the opposing side here is Astro. Yogurt spraying down, unable to get the kill. Remember, Renshiro on the Blackbeard is sitting outside on the balcony. It can definitely chime in here, but Mav still waiting for Falco. Falco has not moved just yet. He's still droning since the start.
He really needs to get that intel, man.
Oh, here we go. Finally, the drone has been taken down from Falco. Mav, though, will get dropped. Livin is very low in HP, and he's pretty sure that this is a drop. Now you see Astro with the extra HP going in from the dock, and he will get the kill on Stiz. Yogurts, though, will refrag, taking down Moringa. So that's the dock eliminated from this. Livin will finish off Mav with the Twitch drone, and now the smokes are going to get used. A minute in, or a minute remaining, basically, which is a bit premature for the smokes. But this is exactly what you want if you're Millenium on the attack.
Yeah, 4v3. Millenium have the advantage. As I say that, of course, one drops to Gohan. So this could go either way. Plenty of time left for an attack here, but they've got to start get the momentum going, and the diffuser is not in anyone's hands at the moment. That's a big problem.
And this spot from Astro, this line of sight, just gives him absolute dominance over that diffuser. So they have
trouble with this.
They have to play this Blackbeard correctly. It's all in Renshiro in my mind. He has to get this. Here we go. Gohan's gonna get dropped and taken out, but there's still the opposing front basically to deal with. Astro runs in, gets the kill. At least turns it into a 2v2, but this is where Blackbeard shines. Astro, though, comes in and gets one more.
It's on Livin.
All on Livin. Low XP, 1 second remaining, gets sprayed down. Astro, ladies and gentlemen, we have our victors. Fontt, Team Fontt, will be progressing to the semifinals in our final matchup of the day. What a game. It was 4-0. for Millenium on map 1, 6-4 comeback for Fontt, 4-0 for Fontt on map number 2, 4-round comeback into overtime, but unfortunately Millenium did not have the energy to keep going through and actually grab the 6-4 to go into map number 3.
6-4 wins both maps there from Fontt, but I gotta